Hello and welcome to this next webinar episode. My name is Daniel and today we will talk about TradersYard and how you can hold webinars or attend webinars. TradersYard is the online social platform which we created, and before we come to that, a little bit about me. I'm Daniel, like I said. I'm working since almost 4 years for AgenaTrader, and I'm head of support and education and doing this kind of webinars on a regular basis. I don't have much of a slides here. We just move on to the TradersYard online platform, the AgenaTrader and all this stuff. This disclaimer, of course, everything I show here is never an invitation for trading on the financial markets, especially not live trading, but just is meant for educational purposes. If you do trade live in the markets, you do this on your own risk. All right, let's get to it. So what we see here is TradersYard.com. You can see and type in the URL yourself in your regular web browser. And the next step you have to do to join a webinar or host a webinar is to join this platform. And it's a regular sign-up process where you enter a name, an email address, and 2 times your password you want to choose. Once you hit the join button, it will send you an email to the email address you used. You have to confirm the email by clicking the link which is supplied, and with this link you can activate your account. Once you activated it, you're able to log into your user profile. All right, I will just log into my user profile right now with the login button, and what you will see is the home of your profile, which will show you all the channels you have subscribed, friends you're following and stuff like that. So it's really just what you have subscribed, no advertisement. You have your profile page and so on. And if you want to attend to a webinar, I would suggest that you go to the leaderboard. And the leaderboard gives you an overview, let's say, of upcoming events. And for example, I created this question and answers event, which is basically the same thing I'm doing now here via GoTo webinar. And if you sign up, like I told you now, and join this webinar, you could also then listen to the stream, to the audio, which I will start in a few minutes. So basically you can join right here with this join button. I'm already part of it, or open it with a click on the name. One more time, let's click it. And you will see the page of this event, of this webinar, and you can join it. Next to this client, join client, is another button where you have like register, sign up that you want to be part of it, like being interested, joining a group of Facebook, to understand it in a similar way. And once you did it, you can download the webinar client, which allows you here to join with client. If you click this, you will download the file. When you open the file, it will start a downloading program, and once it is finished, it will start the webinar client where you can join and attend a webinar. In case you already use the AgenaTrader software, it would open AgenaTrader because you can also stream and attend a webinar directly from the AgenaTrader software. All right, so I'm a participant. We got another one here, another one here. So once you joined this client, basically, you can now then it's either download it, like I said, or simply, like what I will do is I'm opening AgenaTrader, and you see here the platform, and you go here to, all right, let me just switch the language for you. It just takes a moment. I just had a German webinar, so it's still there, but in a second we will have the English one. what you can do, for example, here, because you cannot stream the webinar directly from this online platform. For this, we need this software, this client to be downloaded. But you could start a conversation, like writing in something here and talk to customers. It's like a chat. It's a webinar chat where you can communicate. And you could start inviting people for the webinar and also write something down on the timeline if you have some questions. So feel free to go ahead with writing that down. Okay, AgenaTrader restarted. And so what we have to do in AgenaTrader is go to main, TradersYard, and open webinars. So as you can see, I'm part of this webinar, so I'm participating, so I find this one here. If you do not participate to any webinar, you will not find any entry right here. But if you do so, you can open this entry with the open button, and this will basically show the chat, which I was just typing in on the web platform. You see this hello I was typing in before is also here in this webinar window. What I can do now, I can also detach this, so I have a separate window and move it to another screen maybe. And if you want to listen to a webinar, the first thing you want to do is you want to check the settings, choose microphone and speakers, and find out if the speakers that are pre-selected are correct. You can test it with the play button, which gives you some sound. You can also set a microphone, which I have here. Next thing, if you are a presenter, you might want to check your webinar sharing. You might want to check your screen sharing, so you can select which monitor you want to share with. And that's basically it. Show my streams would allow you, or allow me in this case, enable or disable to see my own stream. I would not need this, so I will disable it. There is a possibility to see questions, to see participants, to enable audio, webcam, screen. But to do so, I have to start the webinar right here with this button. So at the meantime, I can again write something in the chat, but only once I started the webinar. One more thing before I started recording. At the very moment, recording is not possible yet. We are planning to get the technology from our partner. But what we build at the moment is an instruction and a proposal of a separate software you could use for recording your desktop, basically. If you already have a desktop recording software, you just go ahead with this one. If you don't have any, you can download the OBS project, the OBS Studio, and there is a step-by-step instruction how you can do the recording. All right. So when I start the webinar right here, it changes into running and becomes green right here. And now I could also start writing something down and seeing what people are writing. And I can start now sharing my screen, sharing my audio, and if I want, I could also share my webcam, which I will not do right now. So if you already joined this webinar here, and you would receive now 2 streams. So if you want, you can just leave GoTo webinar and stick to the TradersYard streaming. If not, if you stay in GoTo, it's also fine. All right. So this is basically how you join a webinar and then start the client. And there's one more thing you have to do in AgenaTrader. If you don't find anything right here, is go to main, TradersYard settings, because in this TradersYard settings you also have to log into your TradersYard account. The process is the same. You click log in, type in your credentials, and you're logged on. And once you did this, you have access to all the groups you have joined, the webinars you have joined, and access it, attend it, create it, and so on and so forth. I will show a few features in a few moments. All right, so this is how you could stream and attend a webinar from AgenaTrader. Like I said, if you do not have AgenaTrader installed, if you're not a customer of this program, of this service, you simply download the client right here. It will also open this webinar streaming window, which looks the same way like it looks when you open it with AgenaTrader. So there's really no difference here. Okay, what else can you do with this webinar tool, TradersYard? For once, we have here the option, of course, conversations we had, invite your friends, members of your groups, for example, send somebody an email invitation and so on. Check out the participants, photos, videos, documents, and we have a settings option. The settings option is, I will show it when you create a webinar, you have to fill out this form. What else is the role management? The role management allows you to decide, I'm the owner, I created it, of course, but I can also decide that somebody else is allowed to present like I am doing it now in this webinar, and I could just invite him and select him as a presenter. I could also go and invite this person, for example, to be a presenter, so he would move up and he would be allowed now to stream in this webinar, to talk in this webinar and stuff like that. So you can really decide based on this role management who is able to do what. So presenters, very obvious. Listeners also, they can only listen and watch the stream basically. Let me switch him back. And yes, that's it. No invitations at the moment. I could blacklist users if somebody is annoying or stuff, or is spamming this content. And that's basically it. So very straightforward. If you want to create your own webinar, like I'm doing it, you can go to webinars, create, and you type in a name, a date when it starts, and date when it ends, optional description, and choose which language you want to hold it. And once you click create, the webinar is ready and you will end up in this dashboard. You can then choose, let's say, an image from here. The picture with my face right here is basically predefined by the person who created it. And that's it pretty much. You created it, you invite people, you can send this link to people to join your webinar basically. So if you have a friend and you want to send him the link to join it, you can send him the link. He will end up in this page and can join it basically. Okay, what else? There is another great option of creating groups. I'll tell you why. A group allows you different things. For example, I have a group called Software Training and I have a few participants. And as you can see, what I can do in a group, I can share my analyses directly from AgenaTrader. I can share trades to this group and people can pick up my proposals about what to trade, in which time frame, with which trading setup and so on. And yeah, I can post pictures, of course, regular videos and stuff. And I can connect with people in this group, help them out or let them help me out once in a while. And if you're a member of a group, for example, if you have ownership rights, you can go to settings and change stuff. You can change some skills. Blacklist, we had again the role management, but for groups, the role management is much bigger. You have the listeners again, the pre-traders, the traders, presenters, executive, and owners. Owners is straightforward. Executive is somebody who has additional rights. For example, if somebody wants to share a trade, and he is only a pre-trader, the executive must accept this trade. So you can build trading groups basically. A presenter is the same thing. This in the group, like in a webinar, you can also stream your screens, stream your audio, your webcam. So a presenter would be allowed to do this. A trader is somebody who is a verified trader from your perspective, let's say, and if this person shares a trade, it must not be accepted by the executive. It will immediately be broadcasted to the whole group, and people can pick up the trade and also trade it. And that's it. Listener is again the same thing. A listener is basically is only allowed to listen to the stream, watch the stream, and not interact with it. But the listener, like I said, can pick up trades from traders and from executive and from owners and from pre-traders only when the executive accepted them. So how does this look? Let's go to AgenaTrader. So in AgenaTrader, let's say I'm having here some cryptos, and I'm thinking I want to maybe trade this breakout if it breaks out from here. So I'm like making a buy stop order, bit too much, 10, and sending this trade to my broker. So the next thing I say, okay, this is actually quite a good trade maybe. I would like to share this with my group so they also see my analysis and they can trade it. So I right click the chart and go to social trading and go to share trade at AgenaTrader, also with AgenaTrader Plus setup, because this was an AgenaTrader Plus setup. I will also show the simple one, and I will share it with my software training group. And everyone now who has opened this TradersYard shared data window right here, main TradersYard shared data, will now see this trade. Of course, for everyone else, the trade would not be active, but has to be accepted and opened. But of course, I already accepted it. But everyone will see now symbol Bitcoin US dollar from Bitfinex and some data, and they will see that my name, Daniel, sent a trading setup and yeah, could basically then start trading it. Earlier this day, I was also sending this chart analysis. So I will just open the chart analysis, and here we go. You see now, even the chart analysis is now available with the indicators. Let me increase the amount of bars in the chart. And yeah, so you can send complete order structures and trades to people. You can simply send your chart analysis, your drawing objects you have drawn in AgenaTrader with your indicators to the people, and they can pick them up and see what you see. Of course, people need to have a data feed for the same data you have. Broker-wise, it's not so important, but at least they have to have the data. And in case you're using scripts and trading strategies which are not default in AgenaTrader, they have to have the same strategies. So we're selling, for example, add-ons packages for trading strategies. If you use such package for analyzing and trading, other people would need to have them as well to see the same trade. Otherwise, they would just receive a default order and not the same setup you have now here, like the stop loss order and the three different targets. All right, let me delete the setup. Like I said, you can go back now, and if you right click, you can now also share this chart analysis, or here this one, chart analysis, to a group, which is then the indicators and stuff and the drawing objects. You can share a chart in TradersYard. Basically, chart group, share a chart would go in this way, that you get one chart like this one with one time frame. You could change the message, and you could say it goes to my channel, my dashboard. It goes to a group, for example, like software training. If you go to TradersYard share group, it will share all 3 time frames, as you can see. And again, I can share it to my group. Let's go to software training. I will not change the text, but you could do it. And once I publish it, I will now see that, let's say, groups, my groups, software training, and I will see the picture. And people can comment on it, can give me feedback, can like it and stuff like that. So really, really straightforward. And this is how you can create different groups and trade with each other, communicate with each other. Somebody analyzes something and shares it with the group, because of course there are so many markets and you cannot find every good opportunity to trade. And if a bunch of people sits together, everyone on his PC analyzes and shares these analyses with each other, you have great opportunities to find good candidates if they are based on manual analysis, and not only, of course, manual, but in general. And if you want to follow somebody in trading, he could, like I was showing, he could send trades and you follow the trades by accepting them and sending it to your broker account. So you don't have to give the money away like in other platforms. You can have your own brokerage account. You're in control of your account, and you're in control what is traded, and you know all the time what's happening. So there's a 100% transparency, I would say. So now one thing I wanted to show is, like, let's say I want to now use some sell order, let's use a sell limit order. No, not this one, sorry. I have to deactivate the strategy because I want to have a regular order without any stops and stuff, because I want to maybe create my own stops. So I will have the limit entry order. I will have a sell stop order, so stop loss, for example. And I will also have a sell limit target order, buy limit target order, and can start connecting it with the order connections. You might already heard of it, to create your own strategy. And here we go. I'm ready with my, okay, now one more time. So here, and I have my ready setup. I will send it, right click, trading, social trading, and send it to my group. And the next thing you see, it ends up here as well. Let me refresh this. Well, let me try. Let's say I will just use another symbol. You can see it better than with another symbol. Let's make Ether and say, okay, let's go short with 100 Ether. Let's buy with a target, and let's buy with a stop. So everything is fine. Connecting it again. Oops. Here we go, sending it and giving it to my group. Here we go. We have now this additional setup. It's proposed, like I said, it's here. It's proposed. With my side, of course, it's already sent active. On your side, it would not be active. And this is the way you basically send trades to your group, so other ones can have the same setup like you have it and trade it, share the analysis and everything together. So it's pretty nice to create trading groups, groups which have one office, but everyone is sitting at home basically. And these are two very good advantages in AgenaTrader. Having a group, getting in touch with other people, and sharing analyses and trades, talk with each other, so you get another opinion of what you're trading, or hosting a webinar, attending a webinar for education and others. And this is very two very good features which TradersYard opens up if you sign up for the portal. The sign up is for free. Attending webinars is for free if they are for free. This is not up to us, but up to the person who holds the webinars. You can connect to anyone. You can share stuff with anyone. So it's really a nice platform to let's say have a closed atmosphere, a closed universe community which is focusing on trading, and you find maybe people who have the same interests, the same way of trading like you have. And that's pretty much it. Of course, there are some regular features like friends and other stuff. You have a chat, you have a public chat where you see people talking. You have your friends chat, private chat, where you can speak to people and only you and this person will see the communication. And when I reload, you will see now the trade which I had sent. I will just mark it as test again, and yeah, that's it. And this is TradersYard. Webinars, groups, connecting with people, sharing and caring, let's say, or streaming at least. All right, if you have questions, feel free to write anything down in the chat. I will try to answer that. If you don't have any further questions, I would stop with the webinar right here. I'm done with my topic. I hope everything was clear and you know how to register here in TradersYard, how to join a webinar and later on participate. I can sum up this for you. So you register in TradersYard, regular process, you search for a webinar, you join it, and then you download the client for joining it with Join with Client. This is I can just show it like a TradersYard launcher. I can already, let's say, open it because I already downloaded it before, so I don't have to do it again. And if you don't have AgenaTrader installed, it would open this client, which is this regular window right here. This one moment, this one. If you have AgenaTrader installed, you simply go to AgenaTrader. Make sure that you are connected to TradersYard. To log in here on this TradersYard settings to your account. Make sure you open webinars. Then you see your webinars. You open it, and that's it. And you check your settings like I discussed for the speakers. And once you check your settings, you can start the stream right here. You can start the audio right here. You can start the screen sharing right here, or webcam sharing right here. And recording, like I discussed, is not possible yet, but there is an instruction manual how you do this with another software. All right. Just take care if you started the webinar and you stop it, this would stop the webinar and it's finished, which means if you want to continue with a webinar, you have to reopen a new one. All right, then have a good evening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining the webinar. Next week, same time, not next week, same date, but earlier we will start at 4 p.m. in the afternoon, Central European time. And we'll have a webinar about our AgenaTrader add-ins. So this Trading Journal Pro, the Dynamic Scanner, Correlation Matrix, and there is one more, doesn't matter. And I will show what these features can do if you buy it additionally to AgenaTrader. So thanks again. Have a great evening. Goodbye.